All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new scene. This is definitely not Japanese in any sort of way. We're working on coilovers for a Chevy Malibu for once, and for once we have quick jacks and a garage. So that's a little weird. Obviously, if you do have these, make sure they're on locks, and then just take the wheels off. How hard could it be? All right, so we got sway bar end links. Looks pretty close to my car, almost the same. So I mean, this shouldn't be too difficult for the fronts. The backs, on the other hand, yeah, it's average McPherson strut. What does the back look like?
Back looks like shit.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah. Basic GM things.
Oh yeah, this is. Oh God, what is that? I don't want to know. All right, well, at least we don't have to go into the car to take them off. So as we go, we will be doing it, but obviously we'll get the top struts probably out first, which means there's going to be 2 to 3 on the top. So until we get there. All right, so we're working on the backs, and you have to get this bottom strut mount. You'll need a wrench or a socket for this one, whichever one you can really fit in this gap. And then you just blast this off. That one was. That one's a 21. Those two up here were 19s. And as far as dropping the springs out, we might have to take this off. But we'll get there when we get there. I just need to be careful because it's a compressed spring right now, even though obviously it's on the jacks. So. Continue. All right, so the spring is out. Yes, the control arm is sketchily hanging. We had a jack under it, as you can see they're doing over there. So what you're going to do is you're going to disconnect the control arm. There's a nut and a bolt, so you're going to have to hold it on one side and power the other side off. And then once it's into the control arm or the knuckle bushing, you're just going to screech it out with that big boy. And then you're going to slowly lower the jack, and then you're going to have to learn this more to get this off. And there's a lot of that too. All right, so as far as getting the spring in, make sure your rubber seats are on both sides. We're putting the adjustment on the top just because, I don't know, it's more straight up there because of the control arm's going to be at a weird angle. But I recommend using a jack for this, but if you have the strength, then to full send on getting the bolt in this hole. We have them adjusted all the way low right now, as well as the actual struts, and we'll adjust to see where we want them. But I will show you how to get to that when we get to it. Right, so the driver's side rear is done, and well, that's lifted in the air height. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. You know what? There's just nothing that could go wrong here other than, some fender rub. Nope, totally not. All right, so this one is going to be a pain because it's a Torx, and you have to use a wrench to hold it on. These two are pretty easy. They are, what is that, a 19? And you're just going to hold the back of them, and then when we get to it, you're just going to tap them out with a mallet. But, oh, and then this little brake connection. If it's dusty and very, very rusted like this one, you're just gonna tap that little mount with a hammer to get all the crap out. Then you should be able to just shimmy it out. But oh yeah, and then there's this top bolt and then that top bolt which holds that shield on. So other than that, we should be rocking. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's done. We had way too many sway bar end link issues among the previous people who did the front suspension stripped pretty much everything. But I would say it's probably one of the lowest Malibus you will ever see. But it is rubbing, if you can see that little bend in the fender. So we will be raising it up in a lit parking lot. So we're gonna get to that and we're gonna fix it so it's at least drivable. But the stance is amazing. But with that, we conclude another video because, I mean, I shouldn't have to tell you how to adjust coilovers. It's pretty easy. But we're gonna have to do it now because we don't have a chance. Yes, this will be a boring one. It'll be just staring at my ceiling, but I forgot to get an outro for the last video of the, I want to say 2015 Malibu coilovers. But with that being said, we adjusted the right height. Just have to use the spanner wrenches. I guess I will go into a little more detail. So I hope you stick around to the end. But you use the bottom one, or you loosen the top Allen, or at least on the Rev 9s. Loosen the top collar. It should have an Allen on those at least. And then you'll use the spanner wrench on the bottom and move it up to whatever you want it, or down if you want to be stance. But all the way maxed, you will have rubbing issues on the stock 19s, and you won't be able to turn unless you pull your fender or roll it. So with that being said, this is the actual end of the video, and I hope you guys have a good night or good day, depending on when you're watching this.